Hi guys, welcome to our Wednesday meetup where I get to share with you everything that has happened behind the scenes for the past week. I am in my studio right now. I'm actually recording the Christmas tree skirt as we speak. I'm on to, right now I'm working, no, stop. I'm working between steps like I just showed in the video how to join the panels together, and I literally just set everybody off to finish joining all the panels together and then getting together, meeting up, so that way we could do the next step, do the next thing. But in order for me to get to that next step, next thing to record, I actually have to join all the panels together. So that is what I'm doing right now, is joining them together. And as I'm doing that, I was like, you know, I could just kind of pop on here and chat with you and update you guys while I am doing my thing here in the studio. You may notice that I am in a different spot. So I shared on Instagram a little bit, but I was recording today and it was a beautiful sunny day, and the sun was just flooding right in over my whole table and everything I was doing, but only in like strips or sections. And whenever I tried to record, like there was like the sun streak right across my face and all over the table, and I really couldn't accomplish anything. So I shuffled things around in my studio so that way I'm against this wall, against this window. So literally the exact opposite wall from where my yarn setup is. But this was the only kind of location I could put my desk where the sun wasn't kind of streaking across everything and making an issue. And it's been okay. I am actually looking forward to continuing to add stuff to this side of the studio anyway. I would love to put stuff against this wall here. I'd love to put stuff against that wall there. And I'm always open to rearranging furniture and having a fresh new look, fresh new different kind of environment, because it breathes new light and breathes new life into pieces that you already have. It just looks different, you know. I do this with my house all the time. I'm constantly rearranging furniture in my living room, in our bedroom, in the kids' rooms, and you know, everywhere. I'm just constantly moving things around because I love that feel of just kind of refresh and new. And that's what I'm doing now. So this is, I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek at the tree skirt where it's at right now. So I've joined 2 or 3 panels together. Isn't that section beautiful? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. So clearly this isn't done, but that is the section that I was kind of briefly talking about in the video yesterday that I put on here, was that something can look complicated and advanced level or intermediate level, but be completely a beginner based level. And that is where I'm at here on the project. I'm so excited about it, and I can't wait to show you guys how that is done, how I did it. And when it comes to the panels, I decided that I would leave some blank, so that way I was gonna do an applique panel, then a blank panel, then an applique panel, blank panel, to make the applique pop a little bit. I was going to just have an applique on each panel, and then I realized that might be overkill. That might be too much. Of course, I'm gonna leave it open to you guys if you want to make every panel have something on it. It's your tree skirt, you know, you have fun, do you. But the idea for this right here actually came from, oh, my necklace, I got caught, no. There we go, okay, we're good. It came from a baby book. I was going through some of my books, and I just kind of had a moment where I was like, I think I was shuffling things again, rearranging things again. Oh no, it was for my video. The video I just did about Christmas ideas, projects you can make that are awesome Christmas ideas. I was going through my books trying to find some of the inspirational ideas that got me excited. And that I was going through books, and I saw a baby book, and I was flipping through pages, and I saw this baby sweater, and this baby sweater had a very similar kind of design as this. Definitely not the same, but very similar. And I was like, oh, that's gorgeous. I just absolutely love it. I love how that design elevated the baby sweater so much. How did they do that? And then when I saw how they did it, I was like, really? That's it? How crazy awesome, because it looks beautiful, but it's super easy to do. I have to show you guys how to do this. I have to incorporate it in my project, my tree skirt, because I was like, this will elevate the tree skirt so much. I was already trying to think what I could possibly do to the tree skirt panels to level them up. I had some ideas, some things that I've seen before that are very similar to this, but I couldn't nail down what I wanted the design to look like. And then when I saw this, I was like, that's it. Oh. And one of these days I've got to do a video where I just show you guys all of the crochet project books or crochet books that I have. I have a lot because I love crochet books. I've done some other vlogs with you guys where I've shown going to half price books, Goodwill, or just Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble actually has the weakest selection. I'm always disappointed when I go there because I'm like, you guys just don't have anything, man. Especially for crocheters. For knitters, oh my gosh, everywhere. Even half price books, where I like to go for my books, and it's called half price books because it's basically a resale store. Their knitting section is always like 4 times as big as the crochet section, and I'm always like, what the heck? So sometimes I'll even look in the knitter section and be like, okay, what ideas do you got? What can I like take and make a crochet version of? You know, like I'll go and I'll do that. There's also been some times when I've done that with quilter books, and I'll be like, what shapes are you playing with? What color, how are you arranging your colors? And how can I like take your ideas and bring them into the crochet world? So I'm kind of like gonna double up here. I'm gonna work and talk at the same time. Oh my gosh, this pattern, it needs to be double-sided. It's very lengthy because I explain everything that I did and wanted to be as explained as much as possible, and I included some pictures throughout the pattern for this pattern as well to be helpful. The 10th, okay, that's what I did. So I love books because they're so inspiring. I love magazines. This year I am going to start subscribing to crochet magazines. I haven't yet. I want to. I just haven't done it, honestly. I remember asking you guys a little while ago if you guys subscribed to any magazines and which ones you liked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have that to reference back to, and I want to get a bunch just because I so just enjoy crochet books so much. And I honestly think that if I did subscribe to these magazines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that every time I got one in the mail, I would get giddy and just, it'd be like Christmas every month or every quarter, however they do their magazines. I do want to check out though, like the holiday versions of magazines. And there was one where it was like the home version, like they do specific like specialty versions, so it's not like every month it's the same catalog. It's like every month they will produce like a special one, and so I want to check that out and just see what ones I really want to. There's a couple where I'm just like, no, I'm gonna pass on that. And there's actually there's actually a couple magazines that aren't readily just kind of out there. Barnes and Noble was good with magazines. I'll admit that. Barnes and Noble had different crochet magazines that I'd never seen before. And I was like, that's different. That's cool. Okay. Got my attention there. But yeah, I'm going to do that just because I love books. Inspiration all the time. And then, let's see. Haha, I'm on the back. It's important to know you're working on the right side here. Okay, so I think it was Monday. I think week, it was Monday, I shared with you guys my experience going to Ollie's and JoAnn's Fabrics. And I honestly just did really quick little video clips, and then I threw them in iMovie. So my phone is an iPhone, I have an iPhone, and I have iMovie, and they now have this new feature called Magic Movie, and you just kind of throw clips in there, and it takes your clips and puts it together and adds music and kind of does the transitions and everything. And honestly, it will just kind of take like little bits of each video and put it together, and sometimes it's out of order, and that's the most frustrating, is when it's out of order, because then it makes me mad, because I'm like, no, that's silly. What are you doing right now? So I'll reorder them, but what I'll oftentimes do is I'll go into the clip and I'll elongate it to the full extent of what I recorded, so that way it makes more sense why I recorded what I recorded. And sometimes I'll just leave it because I think it's cute what they did, what the Magic Movie did. But 2, 4, 5. But that was just a really quick trip. I went to Ollie's for a couple reasons. One, Kendra from Warm Up America, I hang out with her every now and then. As she was like, Tiffany, you have to go to Ollie's. If you've never been to Ollie's, you have to go to Ollie's. And she had a magazine clipping that she had folded up really pretty so that the ad for Ollie's was like the one thing showing on the top. And she gave me the ad. She's like, you have to go to Ollie's and you have to check out their yarn. I was like, okay. And I never got around to it because Ollie's is like 25 minutes from my house. And I was like, if there was something around it that I was going to, I'd make a point or make a trip to Ollie's because I was in the area, but I'm not just going to go just to go. And then I saw a YouTuber that I watch talk about Ollie's and her trip and her experience. And with her trip and her experience, her Ollie's had a ton of yarn. And it was crazy. And I was like, okay, now I have to go, because that's the second person who's kind of shown me Ollie's and been like, you have to go. So I went, and I was disappointed because my Ollie's had a very small yarn section. And I briefly showed it in the video because it wasn't anything crazy. Like the two main yarns that I saw were the Hygie yarn, Hyg something. And it looked like feathers, and when I kind of grabbed it, it didn't feel very comfy cozy. Like it would produce something very soft, but the cord that all of the softness was attached to did not feel very comfy cozy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then the other yarn that they had that I actually did consider was Lily Sugar and Cream Scrubby yarn. I've never bought it because I love my scrubbies. My scrubbies I make with not tulle. I keep forgetting the name now. It's not tulle. It's the other thing that you make tutus out of, and it's like this really scratchy material that's full of, it's like netting. Somebody please remind me in the comment section, because I'm having, I can't remember, a brain fart right now. But I love those scrubbies. They are incredibly phenomenal. They work amazing. And I just feel like the Lily Sugar and Cream scrubby yarn or the Red Heart scrubby yarn, it's not, I wouldn't use it on my dishes. I personally don't think it would work for my dishes. It might work for other people's dishes, but wouldn't work for my dishes. But it would make for a good exfoliator. Like if I were to use something in the shower or the bath and I wanted something to exfoliate my skin, that would be perfect. I mean, that would be great yarn for that. So I was struggling with this yarn because there was some colors that I just absolutely fell in love with. There was this yellow that I thought was perfect for spring coming up, and I was looking forward. I'm like, I could do something for spring. There was this gorgeous sage. I love the sage the most. That was the one that really like hooked me, was the sage color. I was like, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. So I was gonna get the sage, I was gonna get the yellow. There was this beautiful like red rouge color that was just stunning. And so I was gonna get 2 skeins of each and play with it. And while I was walking down aisles of Ollie's, I was trying to think of what projects that I could make with this yarn, and I couldn't think of anything. I was just totally drawing a blank. So I was like, okay, I'm putting it back, because I have a new philosophy right now where I'm not gonna buy it unless I have a plan for it. I already have tons of yarn that I have had for years that has literally been like collecting dust on my shelf. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to have a purpose for it. If I buy it, it's being purchased for a purpose. And I want to try to do yarn differently this year. So couldn't think of anything to do with it, so I put it back. Drove literally a block away from Ollie's to the new JoAnn fabric that just opened up. They moved locations, so it wasn't a new JoAnn's to the area. It was just, they just moved. And it's funny because there's the highway in Louisville, and right off of the highway there's this big section that's full of craft stores. Literally this one section right off the highway, it has Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree, and then on this side it had JoAnn's, and then now it has Five Below, and either Friday mornings or Monday mornings, I can't remember the name of it, sorry. But and then in the middle is a big parking lot, so if you wanted anything crafty, you'd go to this like place, park your car, and you'd have your pick of whatever craft store that you wanted to go to right there. And I guess JoAnn's was like, I'm out. So they literally like went from here, highway, across the highway. They went right across the highway. And there's a location before, the JoAnn's before was nothing special. It was small. There was barely any selection. I was kind of like, it's underwhelming. I'm not crazy about JoAnn's. Like, yes, JoAnn's, but nothing special. They didn't have the yarn wall everyone talked about. But the new location, oh my gosh, it's like 4 times as big as the store that they were in. It has the yarn wall. And I know a bunch of people were like, you have to see the yarn wall at JoAnn's. And I saw it, but what's funny is it wasn't the yarn wall that got me. It wasn't the yarn wall that made me say, wow. The yarn wall was beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it's a yarn wall. I guess I'm desensitized by yarn walls. I mean, maybe that's it. I've seen a bunch of yarn walls, but it was the amount of yarn that they had in the store. I've never seen a store have so much yarn in my life, even specialty yarn shops. I mean, I've never seen so much yarn in one location. I am walking to the yarn section, and they literally have like yarn in the middle of the aisle leading up to the yarn section. Then you see the big yarn wall. So you got big yarn wall. Then in front of big yarn wall is 3 aisles, both sides full of yarn. Okay, 3 aisles. Then, so full yarn wall, 3 aisles here. Then adjacent to these 3 aisles, this wall is full of yarn. And then the section, there's this big open section in front of the wall of yarn, or the yarn wall. And this big open section here has 3 smaller sections full of yarn. And then there's this like side wall here full of yarn. And then there was this one aisle here where it was just this side of it was full of yarn. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like there was so much. And I was like, wow, there's so many colors, so many fibers, so many options. I was going crazy. I was like, I'm in trouble. Like, this is nuts. But I didn't want to buy a bunch of yarn just because it was beautiful. I wanted to have a purpose. Again, my whole philosophy that I'm diving into. So I did buy some yarn, and I'll share that with you right now. I'll do a little yarn haul with you on what I did pick out. But I really restrained myself because I was like, no, I am doing it different this year. I'm doing it different. So the yarn that I did buy, there's 2 projects I have in mind, 2 very specific projects I have in mind. The first project I have in mind is one, like every morning when I'm picking out what I want to wear, I keep wanting to reach for a black crocheted cardigan or a black crocheted not a pullover, but throw over, like a wrap, something that's open in the front where I can just like put it on and like comfy cozy, you know, cuddle up and you know, do my thing. I want this, but I want it to be black because my favorite color is black. I love to wear black. And I know that's gonna suck for a tutorial. So black, you can't do a tutorial with black yarn because you can't see the stitches. I mean, I struggle with black yarn, like using it myself as I'm crocheting with it. It's difficult sometimes to see the stitch spaces. And that's why we have lights, and that's why we have magnifying glasses, and that's why we like have these special tools that we have, right? The crochet hooks that light up, all that jazz. Because black can be hard, and some yarn colors can be hard to see. So if I do a tutorial for the either a cardigan or like open sweater kind of cocoon, maybe something that I want to pull over. I don't know. Then it will be with this yarn. So I looked at so much yarn. It was hard picking because I was like, do I want to do bulky? Do I want to do velvet? Do I want to do like wool? Like, what yarn do I want? Like, what color speaks to me? And finally I found one, and this is the winner. This is the one that won. Lion Brand Heartland, size 4-weight yarn, 100% acrylic. It is in the color Black Canyon, and it is black, but it has kind of these grayish white flecks in it. Not flecks. It's like a tweed, a little tweedish. But I'm like, I would totally wear that. I could totally see myself wearing this all the time. I'm like, yeah, that's a winner. And I love size 4-weight yarn. I'm very comfortable with a size 4-weight yarn. I probably would have preferred a 5-weight yarn because it would work up faster. But there's a lot of versatility with a 4-weight yarn. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skeins of it. It's all they had in the cubby because I'm like, I haven't done a swatch. I don't have a pattern set up that I want to create. I don't really have any idea which specific project I'm making. All I know is I wanted it to be black, and I want it to be a wearable, like a cardigan. So because I want it to be a wearable like a cardigan, I knew I was going to need a lot. And this yarn, Lion Brand Heartland, I'm like, it's easily accessible. If I need more, I can get more. And it's beautiful. So if I don't need this much yarn, I'll make a beanie. You know, it's yarn that I can repurpose for so many different projects, right? So I got this, and I am excited to use it. And if I do make a wearable with it, then I will 100% make a tutorial. Well, nah, if I'll communicate with you guys. If it's a pattern, if I find a pattern that I fall in love with, and it is one that I have to pay for because maybe I don't want to use my brain, and I don't want to be creative, and I don't want to design something. Maybe I just want to follow a pattern, you know, like find somebody else's pattern I think is gorgeous and just print it out and just go, you know. Maybe that is how I want to go about my project for my own top I want to wear. Maybe I don't want to design it. Maybe I just want to follow somebody else's pattern. And if I have to pay for it because I loved it and I had to pay for it, then I can't do a tutorial for it. But if I do end up deciding to design something and get creative, or if the pattern that I choose to follow is free, then I will do a tutorial, probably in like a cream color, because I love wearing creams too. I probably need to bust out some actual color. I kind of fall in the same color family all the time. I love wearing cream. I love wearing white. I love wearing black. Black's my favorite color to wear because it's slimming and flattering. Like, I mean, all women know this. But I could probably benefit from making or wearing something with color. I could. So we'll see. We'll see. But the other thing that I got was this. So I bought Red Heart Super Saver stripes. I bought it. Red Heart Super Saver, proof right there. Stripes, that color. And you might be thinking, why? To be honest, it's soft. Like, I'm doing the squish test right now. This is actually really soft. And the colors are perfect for the project that I'm making. So my daughter came to me. Oh my gosh, guys, I don't get teenagers. They want the weirdest stuff. But I'm like, okay. My daughter came to me and she's like, Mom, can you make me this? And she showed me this picture. And it's literally a beanie of a dead fish. Like, the mouth goes over your head, and then it's a dead fish with eyes that have X's and the fins and everything. And it was like this color palette for it. And I'm like, I literally looked at it like, and I like looked at her and looked at it, looked at her, looked at it, and she laughed at me. She's like, what? And I'm like, you want to wear a dead fish on your head? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, send me the picture. Like, okay. And so I go to JoAnn's and I'm buying this yarn, and I show the cashier, you know, I'm with the cashier, and the cashier is looking at the yarn. And of course they ask, you know, what are you going to make with that? And I'm like, I got to show you this audacious project that I have been asked to make. And I show her the picture of this dead fish beanie, and she like slowly turns to the cash register and she's doing her thing. She's like, it's actually kind of cool. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I'd wear that. And I'm like, where am I right now? like what? Like, seriously, that's cool. I guess it's different, you know, and teenagers, they like weird stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this a try. All right, we'll do this. So I'll try to throw up a picture of this fish hat for you to see, just so that way you can share in this weirdness that I'm experiencing right now. Like seriously, I don't even know. Like, okay, I'm making this dead fish hat. Like, okay, I need to make sure I get it done for Christmas though, because I want to make sure I have one crocheted Christmas gift for everybody, just to kind of add a little bit more under the Christmas tree and have that special thing, you know? But so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go now. I'm going to continue working on this tutorial. It's going out this weekend. I'm super excited about it. And, oh, I wanted to ask you guys too, is there anything that you would like me to share? I know that somebody asked me how I arrange my yarn, and I want to do a video on that, on how I organize my yarn, because at first I was like, yeah, I mean, nothing special. But then I looked at my yarn wall and I was like, I do it kind of differently than I've seen other people do it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have a video where I'm going to show you guys how I organize my yarn. I still need to edit the studio reveal. Still haven't gotten to that. Need to do that. And I'd like to share with you guys my books. Just here's some of the stuff that inspires me, you know. So if there's anything else that you guys are curious about, let me know. Just kind of some fun ideas, some you know, just show and tells kind of things I think would be a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll keep thinking about it too. I actually have another fun idea that I'll present to you another time, but I'm not ready for it. All right, I hope you guys have a beautiful Wednesday. Crafters Gatherers, I will be seeing you tonight, and get this video out as soon as possible. Love you guys. Have a great day. Have a great week, and I'll most definitely catch up with you guys next Wednesday. Hopefully before then, but if not, definitely next Wednesday for more behind the scenes with Tiffany. See you guys soon. Bye.